I now call to order the June 10th special meeting for New Caney Independent School District Board of Trustees at 6:04. Let a minute show that a quorum is present with all members in attendance. Please rise for the invocation to be given by Mr. Mixon.
Let's pray. Heavenly Father, we just want to thank you for this day. Thank you for many things that you continue to do for us, Lord, your blessings. Just ask that you keep your hand on each of the leaders we have in this district, Lord, that our decisions reflect decisions that you would have us make. It's in your name that we pray. Amen.
Item 2 on the agenda is consideration or approval of matching grants for school behavior health awarded and presented by Ms. Lori Monroe. Got it. Good evening. How are you?
Hi, good evening. Good, thank you. So I'm seeking matching funds for a grant that we applied for through the Center for School Behavioral Health, which is sort of an arm of Mental Health America. We learned just a couple of weeks ago that we were recipients of this award, so we're really excited about the opportunity that is before us for the implementation of the project that we proposed. Our project is really, you might be familiar with the RTI pyramid that addresses academic interventions. So, students who demonstrate a need for more intervention in the academic area will receive different tiers of intervention to meet their needs. The project that we're proposing is a similar model, but for student behavioral health.
So intervention on the behavioral side?
That is correct.
So give me an example of what that might be. I mean, are we talking the way they act in a class?
Sure. So if we're looking at Tier 1 interventions, which would be universal, the academic side of that would be great teaching strategies that are going to work for the majority, let's say 80 to 90% of our students. So we would be looking at instruction, and we talked a little bit about social emotional learning back in January or February. So these would be good instructional interventions that deal more with the social emotional learning domain. We would still expect for that to result in satisfactory progress for probably 80 to 90% of students. Those that don't meet it at that universal level then would move up into a Tier 2 intervention, which would be targeted to the types of behaviors that we're seeing. Tier 2 interventions could be provided by school counselors, by a district crisis counselor, by our partnership with Tri-County Behavioral Health Care. Those students, we would think that probably another 5 to 10% of students' needs would be met at that Tier 2 level. And then we're moving on up from that point to the very tip of the pyramid, which would be Tier 3 interventions, which would be more intensive individual interventions for those students.
Are there any other questions or further discussion? Is there a motion to approve the matching grants for school behavioral health awards? The motion has been moved and seconded. There being no further discussion, a vote will be taken. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed is none. The motion is approved. There being no further discussion, no further business, the meeting is adjourned at 6:07.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.